Hey everyone, and welcome to What Did I Miss?, where today I'm sharing with you some news about the upcoming second season of Star Trek Picard, which includes the return of a character that we all thought died not once but twice before. I will also share with you some news about the production of the next seasons of Star Trek Discovery and Lower Decks, as well as a brand new contest I'll be running on this channel that involves one of these series. Finally, at the end of the video I will share some exciting news about another reboot of a sci-fi fantasy classic from the 80s and 90s. Every week it seems that some set photo or other detail is released about the next seasons of Star Trek, and lately a lot have been coming from the cast members themselves. Specifically one cast member who has been sharing details about his character's role and interactions with other characters on the internet service Cameo. But this time he may have let us know more than the producers of the show would probably have liked. I am of course talking about John Delancey, who plays the indomitable and omnipotent character Q. If you do follow this channel, you know that he's been doing this since his involvement in the future season of Picard was revealed by Paramount earlier in 2021. If this is your first time here, my name is Eric, and on this channel I share news updates and break down different series and films, so be sure to hit that subscribe button before you leave. Also, if you would like to help out the channel by supporting us, all you really have to do is hit that like button, and that will tell YouTube to show it to more people, which really does help out a smaller channel like this one. So before we get into the news about Picard, which will not air until 2022, let's discuss two series that are slated to premiere in 2021, and those are Lower Decks and Discovery. Mike McMahon, the creator and showrunner of Lower Decks, has been doing a lot of interviews this month to help promote the first season of Lower Decks on Blu-ray. Speaking of which, for the month of June in 2021, I'll be running another contest on What Did I Miss?, and we'll be giving away a Blu-ray copy of the first season of Lower Decks. All you have to do to enter is simply be subscribed, which you can take care of right now if you haven't yet, and leave a like and a comment on a video until the end of June 2021. On July 1st, I will select a winner and they will win a copy of the first season of Lower Decks. In an interview with IGN, Mr. McMahon revealed some aspects about the production of Season 2, as well as revealing that he and his writing team had just finished the 5th episode of Season 3 of the series. He says he wishes to continue the tradition of earlier interpretations of Star Trek by having standalone episodes that are very strong character pieces, but that the second season of the show would be very much affected by the events of the last few episodes of the first season. Besides the death of a bridge officer that must be replaced, that being the beloved yet ill-fated Bajoran Security Chief Lieutenant Shax, many other storylines were left open. This is what he had to say about how the second season will be affected by the first. That's what the beginning of Season 2 feels like. It is talking about those things. How does Mariner feel about Boimler taking off? How is Boimler doing on the Titan? What stories are we telling there? So we're still doing standalone, still episodes that feel episodic, but the characters don't forget. We haven't forgotten what we said in Season 1. While I'm glad they are not forgetting the events of last season, having Boimler on a different ship will be very difficult to say the least. I would anticipate that plotline being wrapped up in one of the early episodes of the season. But they should all do a lot to develop these characters that we have really only met over 10 episodes in the first season. He specifically stated in the interview that we should look forward to seeing Mariner and her mom working together, Rutherford's and Tendy's new relationship now that Rutherford's cyborg implant was removed, which resulted in him not remembering his friendship with Tendy, the return of the Pakleds, which are now a legitimate threat to the Federation, and Boimler on the USS Titan and under the command of Captain William T. Riker. In an interview with Screen Rant, Mr. McMahon elaborated on these changes to the main characters in the next season, but also said that we should be ready for some more random cameos. He stated the following: "I find that if I utilize people that you don't expect to have on the show, it ends up feeling more earned, more fun, more surprising. So there are legacy guest roles in the second season and in the third season as well, but I think it's people you're not going to expect when you get them." Q was obviously a big cameo for the first season, but other things like the return of the Spock space helmet, as well as the return of the character Landru from the original series, were some of my favorite parts of the first season, so I look forward to seeing what they come up with next. I really liked the first season of Lower Decks, and it will always have a special place in my heart, as those were the first episodes of Star Trek I covered on this channel, and were some of the first YouTube videos I ever made. I also thought the second half of the season was really strong, and definitely left me excited about the future of the series. When it was released, I know the reaction was lukewarm, but since then I think a lot of people have been able to binge watch it and probably appreciate and understand it a bit better. I would love to know what you think, and you can also enter for a chance to win the first season on Blu-ray by letting me know in the comments what you thought of the first season. I also have a couple of quick notes about the present future of the series Star Trek Discovery. Show producer, writer, and showrunner Michelle Paradise shared an image on her Twitter page that the writing of Season 4 has been completed and that the season is still in the process of filming. You may remember that the delayed production of Season 4 was slated to be completed in Toronto earlier in the summer, but the city revealed that the show will be in fact filming until the end of August. If you think that it is odd that the series is still writing episodes during the filming of the season, it is actually quite commonplace, and the issues presented by the COVID crisis have affected every production in one way or another. It was also revealed that Tig Notaro is in Toronto filming her scenes for the 4th season, as she has not been filming before this due to concerns with the COVID crisis. Many people, like myself, feel that her character Jet Reno is one that is underutilized and would love to see the writers use her more. But the comedian and snack enthusiast revealed that it is actually her schedule that keeps her from doing more on the show, not the use of her character, and that the show's writing team has been very generous with her. This is what she had to say. One of the fun parts about Star Trek Discovery for me is that they let me just pop in from time to time. Often I hear like, oh, they don't use you enough, or how come they're not letting you? I'm like, Star Trek lets me do whatever. I have a full career doing stand-up and other projects, and the fact that they're so flexible and making my schedule work, I'm so lucky. Now on to the bombshell dropped by John Delancey about the future of Star Trek Picard, and that is that Data is returning. This is very surprising. Although it was revealed that Brent Spiner was returning for the 2nd and possibly 3rd season of the series, it was assumed that it would not be as Data, but as the human character Alton Soon. Spiner even said that he did not want to play the character again in an interview with TV Guide in 2020. Data was of course killed in the movie Star Trek Nemesis, but during the events of the 1st season of Picard, we learned that his consciousness was still intact, meaning that the character had not yet been lost. Ultimately, the character says that he wishes his friend and mentor Captain Picard to end his life by shutting down his program, in a scene that was almost as emotional for the viewers as it was for the actors. But according to John Delancey, he was in fact scheduled to film scenes with not only Brent Spiner, but he specifically states that it will be with the character Data. On a recent cameo video with a fan, he said the following: Sir Patrick and I have had a whole bunch of scenes, which we thoroughly enjoyed working with each other. I have got one coming up with Data on this coming Tuesday, so yeah, we are moving along. It should be noted that in prior cameo videos, Mr. Delancey did specifically say he was filming scenes with Jonathan Frakes, of which Mr. Frakes is directing, and he used his full name and didn't refer to him by his character name Riker. So you'd think that if Mr. Delancey was filming scenes with Brent Spiner as a different character, he would use his actual name or the new character's name. This is a huge piece of news for the future of the show, and probably puts more merit on the idea that Q will be taking the cast to different timelines and or dimensions. Perhaps we will see a storyline similar to the episode Tapestry, and this time see a future where Picard never joins Starfleet and Data never sacrificed his life. Again, I would love to hear what you think, so let me know in the comments, what do you think having Data show up again on Picard means for the series? Now finally, I promised you some news about a franchise that was rebooting in the near future, and that is the sword-fighting fantasy Highlander. The original film was released in 1986 and starred Christopher Lambert as an immortal who was involved in a last-person-standing tournament with other immortals, and spawned many sequels and a long-running TV series. John Wick director Chad Stahelski has signed on to direct the film, which will star The Witcher himself, Henry Cavill, as the lead character. I really did love this story, and saw every movie and watched the series, and I also enjoy Henry Cavill as an actor, but I'm not sure I see him in the lead role, and would probably rather see him as the villain named the Kurgan, although that design may be too close to the design of The Witcher, another character he's known for playing. Christopher Lambert is not a big man, and in the final showdown with the Kurgan in the original movie, this added a lot to the stakes of the fight. So if Mr. Cavill is Connor or Duncan MacLeod, and the film uses the same villain from the original movie, I'm not sure how they are going to find someone bigger. The film is being released through Lionsgate, with no production schedule or release date mentioned. But what do you think? Do you want to see a new version of Highlander, or can there truly be only one? Okay, hopefully that joke wasn't bad enough to lose you, and you still enjoyed the video. If you did, remember you can help us out by hitting that like button and subscribing if you have not yet. If you really want to be a supporter of What Did I Miss, who I affectionately call the Misfits, you can hit the bell next to the subscribe button, and that will make sure YouTube tells you as soon as my new videos come out. Thank you very much for clicking on this video, and I will see you next time on What Did I Miss?